So we'll call to order the City of Douglasville City Council regular meeting for today, which is Monday, June the 5th. Our invocation will be done by Elder Alan Cox of the Daystar Tabernacle, and after that, the Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Councilmember Mark Adams. Please stand for the invocation. Okay, that person isn't here. Thank you, Mr. Roberts. You're always ready to assist us. We appreciate it.
Thank you. Our dear, kind Heavenly Father, we come to you this day. We thank you for this beautiful day you've given us. Even the rain is beautiful. We'll be grateful later. We thank you for all your blessings. We pray that tonight you would just guide these elected officials, the mayor and the council and the city staff, Lord, to handle the people's business in a right and proper and orderly manner. We pray these things in Jesus' name. Amen. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you so much, Mr. Roberts, and for that beautiful invocation, and Councilmember Adams for leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance. I'll go over, we don't have any presentations, but I'll do the announcements for tonight, and then we'll start with the meeting agenda. I'd like to welcome you to the City of Douglasville's City Council regular meeting, which is today, June the 5th. Tonight, the council will vote on the agenda items discussed at the last legislative work session this past Thursday. Items that will be voted on tonight have been discussed previously. Therefore, unless you have new information to present, you do not need to reintroduce the same material you presented at the work session on Friday. If the business you are here to discuss is not listed as an agenda item, there will be ample time to discuss your business under the agenda item listed Comments from Citizens and Delegates. Before we start, I'd like to cover just a few procedural items so that there won't be any misunderstanding during this meeting. I ask that if you would come to the podium when you have something to say, to keep your comments and presentations on a professional level, and please do not have any comments that will be perceived as personal attacks against any individual or groups. Only one person can speak at a time. We ask that you will not applaud or cheer or make any loud, disturbing comments or otherwise be distracting during the meeting. I would ask also that you would please put in your electronic devices in the silent mode or turn those off so that you will not be disruptive during the meeting as well. The regular items will be handled as follows. The committee chair will read the agenda item, make his or her motion before the vote. If applicant has any additional information, he or she should present it at that time. Then if there are citizen comments on points of interest that were not made at the work session, you can come at that time and give your name and address for the record. There's a form that you should have filled out on the table. You fill that form out, give your name and address, and hand it to a deputy clerk, and we'll be happy to hear from you. Each person, including the applicant, gets only one opportunity to make a comment or statement. And to emphasize tonight that the only brief comments or clarifying statements will be discussed. The meeting will go pretty quickly, so we will move on now to the actual meeting. To the agenda, I open the floor for minutes of the legislative work session of May 11th, 2017, and the regular meeting of May 15th, 2017. Open the floor for a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
Thank you so much. It's been properly motioned to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. To approve the consent. These are the minutes from May 11th and May 15th. Okay. So all of those in favor of approving, are any questions or comments or corrections to the minutes? Thank you. Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving the minutes from the legislative work session of May 11th, regular meeting of May 15th, please say aye. Push your button.
Aye.
Thank you. You push your button? Okay. Opposed? Say nay. Good. The ayes have it. Now open the floor for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Make a Motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to approve the consent agenda as presented. Are there any questions or comments or corrections to the consent agenda? Thank you. Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving the consent agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Are you getting it, Ms. Deputy Clerk? Thank you so much, Ms. Sharon. Okay, the first committee, number 7, is Public Safety Committee. That's chaired by Member Samuel Davis.
Yes, ma'am. I have one item tonight, and we will be holding a public hearing after I present the item. Item 20-17-13, request for the change in licensing for the alcohol beverages for the sale and consumption of wine, malt beverages, and spiritual liquor at the following establishment. Licensing the English Country House Group, INC, proposed licensing the Luck of the Irish, LLC, proposed DBA Irish Bread Pub, Restaurant, location 6682 Broad Street. Current agent outlet manager Brittany Wyatt, and required fees have been paid into the city finance department. It's the agent outlet manager.
Okay.
Come on down and name and all the above.
Brittany Wyatt,
Good evening.
and I am at 4180 Newman Ellis Road, Douglasville, 30134.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you for coming. And right now, we will hold a public hearing for all those that are against changing outlet agent. You have 5 minutes to speak. Since we don't have anyone coming down, so all those who are for changing of agent outlet, you got 5 minutes to speak. So now I close the public hearing since no one came out. And Madam Mayor, I'll make a motion, 20-17-13 for approval.
Thank you. It's been properly moved to approve item 20-17-13. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. It's moved and seconded to approve item 20-17-13. Are there any questions or additional comments from the council members? Thank you. Not seeing any. All those in favor of approving item 20-17-13, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Same sign. Thank you. 20-17-13 is adopted. Thank you so much, Ms. Wyatt.
Thank you, Ms. Brittany. That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, Councilman Davis. We'll move on to Community and Economic Development Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Mark Adams.
No business tonight, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to item 9, Planning and Development Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Mark Adams as well.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. We have several items under Planning and Development. The first is a motion to remove from the table item 22-17-20, and I'll make that motion at this time.
Thank you. It's been
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to remove item 22-17-20 from the table. Any questions or comments as relates to removing this item from the table? Thank you. All of those in favor of removing the item from the table, please say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign. Thank you. Item 22-17-20 is removed from the table.
Just waiting for the screen to advance. Okay, thank you. Item B then is item 22-17-20, which was tabled and now removed from the table from May 15th, 2007. Holding a public hearing and considering a request for a variance to reduce the 50-foot required setback. After our discussion at the legislative meeting last week, it appears that the owner no longer needs all of the variance that he originally requested. It appears that the owner is willing to build a privacy fence at the rear of the property. So I will make a motion to approve a variance to reduce the front yard setback requirement on the west side of the property located at 8660 Club Drive, Land Lot 16, District 1, Section 5E, Parcel 103, a distance of 12.2 feet from the required 50-foot for a principal residence in R2 District, for required front yard setback then of 37.8 feet, and to reduce the rear yard setback requirement on the east side of the property, a distance of 8.9 feet from the required 30 feet, for a required rear yard setback of 21.1 feet for a principal structure in R2 district with the following special stipulation. The owner shall build a privacy fence across the entire rear of the lot line before issuance of any certificate of occupancy for the property. I'll make that motion at this time.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 22-17-20 with the special stipulations as read by the chairman. Are there any questions or comments from the council members? Thank you. Not seeing any. All of those in favor of approving item 22-17-20, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thank you. 22-17-20 is adopted.
Item 22-17-22, consider a request for plat approval for the purpose of subdivision into 3 separate tracts for 39.49 acres located land lot 163, District 2, Section 5, Parcel 21. Application by Aaron McCullough, Hughes Ray Company, Incorporated. I'd like to make a motion at this time to approve item 22-17-22.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 22-17-22. Are there any questions or comments as relates to this item from the council members?
Madam Mayor, Mr. Chairman, I know Mr. Fowler presented on this. I'm just a little, I have some questions on it regarding how it relates to the Bright Star. My understanding is it does relate to the Bright Star motion that was done, or am I confused?
We'll have Mr. Fowler address that.
Joe Fowler, Post Office Box 49 in Douglasville. This is the property that lies south of Woods Road. The development previously approved and currently under construction is north of Woods Road. The same entity is acquiring 25 acres south of Woods Road. Doesn't go all the way down to Bright Star Connector, but they're acquiring that parcel as well.
Was it known? I mean, were they planning on acquiring that property once they applied for the first zoning?
I don't know. I know they were under negotiations and had been, but what I learned at the time I received this request was that they had concluded their negotiations and they asked for this subdivision. In fact, we filed for rezoning, for industrial zoning on the 25 acres. That had to come to a standstill because the owner has about 39.84, just under 40 acres entirely. A portion of it is south of Bright Star Connector. There's a 7.7 acre parcel just to the north adjoining Bright Star Connector, and then this 25 acres goes from that point up to Woods Road.
Do we know, like, my concern is, especially with what we've already allowed, is the amount of trucks that are going to be into that subdivision. Onto that road and into the intersection at Concourse. Do we know what's going to, my understanding is you're going to be having a second zoning application?
They have made and already filed an application for rezoning. I understand that the developer and the county have already begun negotiations about what has to be done in addition to what is already being undertaken with respect to the widening of Bright Star Road and addressing the truck and traffic issues.
Well, widening Bright Star Road is, that's a county issue. My main concern, because they're really coming into Highway 5, coming in that intersection, I have, people just furious about how that intersection is working already. I was driving down there this week, and the tree trucks are coming down through there. I'm just very concerned that we're getting ourselves into a situation where we're going to exacerbate a problem. I understand the ARC with the DRI isn't, they're not identifying Concourse and Highway 5 and the Highway 5 bridge being an issue as to this zoning application because it's already a problem. Is that correct?
That was in the DRI report, and what has occurred, as you know already, is that all the traffic signals, essentially from Bright Star Connector, all the way over to Douglas Boulevard have been timed, and they've even made changes to the lights themselves so they permit left turns, whereas formerly it was left turn on green arrow only. You probably noticed that that has been changed. And the consultant that was hired to do the traffic study last time, when addressing the issues that you had raised as a part of that other rezoning, not before us tonight, of course, but when you raised that, we all got back huddled up and said, what can be done? And he said, what is being done already would be the coordination of those signals that moves the traffic through more quickly. It's a question of volume.
Is that a county issue? Are they the ones controlling those timing?
Randy Halsey, Speedy Boutwell, Wolverine Consultants got all that done. They've spent a lot of money doing that traffic coordination. And I'm not sure what time of the day I go through off the top of my head, but it seems to be better in any event because of that coordination. What'll happen when the phase 1 development is completed will be an interesting issue.
So there'll be a phase 1 and a phase 2 on the current zoning that we've already
Yes, sir.
approved, the city's already approved. Then now we can anticipate an application to rezone adjacent property. And do you know what that is for at this point, or what can we expect in the way of traffic coming from that zoning?
I don't have any details on that at this point as to what the traffic impact will be. I know they are acquiring the property, and I don't know if they're just going to put it in inventory now and hold on to it, or if they have something that's going to come out of the ground anytime soon. I just don't know the answer to that question.
Any other?
Anyone may have a question concerning it. I was able to pull the plat up before this meeting, and I think there are 3 tracts of land that it's being subdivided into. One of the tracts, so that everyone understands, there's no confusion, one of the tracts actually sits on the corner of Bright Star Connector and Bright Star Road on the south side of the intersection, small piece. One of the tracts is a small piece on the north side of the intersection on the corner of Bright Star Connector and Bright Star Road. And then the balance of it is to the south of Wood Road. So there's 3 tracks, and I'm assuming all of they're not contiguous, obviously, what I've just explained. And do we have a hard copy of the plats available if anyone has not seen it online, but it is in our packet. Any questions? I want to make sure that there's no confusion on my part as a committee chair there.
I just have a question. What is the current zoning on those parcels right now? And are
All
all
CG.
3? It's
All
so
CG.
general commercial?
Yes, sir.
And the future land use map, is it a multi-use development like the other parcel was?
It is the same as the prior zoning was with respect to all those, unless Michelle tells me differently. My recollection is it is all the same.
Again, it may not be an issue for this hearing, but I'm really concerned about the change in the future land use
Yes, sir.
map and adding traffic to an area that seems already bombarded.
We had that discussion among ourselves, and if you'll notice, there's 7.7 acres at the northeast intersection of Bright Star Connector and Bright Star Road that remains CG, and 5.88 acres just to the, Mr. Siegel corrected me last time, just to the south of Bright Star Connector at Bright Star that remains CG.
For now.
Yeah, my client does not have that under contract. I think they see that from a long-range land use perspective, it's precisely as you do. And that is, it's a better suitable use for commercial in that area. And that actually continues along the corridor all the way back toward Highway 5.
The general purpose for the Bright Star Connector to begin with. Yes.
Which is a good depth for commercial, frankly, but that's, again, not on the agenda tonight, but it follows through with your concern, Mr. Miller. All right, thank
Okay.
you.
Yours, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments from council members? Now, do we have a second? Oh,
Yep.
We did. Okay, great. I had forgotten in all this discussion. So item 22-17-22. Not seeing any other questions or comments. All of those in favor of approving this item, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay.
Nay.
Okay. Item 22-17-22 is adopted.
Item D, item 221723, consider a request for revised plat approval for Braylon Manor for the purpose of correcting stream buffer lines on lots 113 and 123 for .46 acres at land lot 193, District 2, Section 5A, parcels 168 and 178. Application by Butch Oliver of D.R. Horton Crown LLC. We had this discussion and asked Mr. Mettler to come up and assist us on Thursday night concerning this. This does not in any way change the lot configuration or any floodplain. It basically allows this lot to be, these two lots to be used from the way he explained it to me. So I'm going to make a motion to approve that item 2217-23.
Second.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 22-17-23. Are there any additional questions or comments from council members?
Madam Mayor, I just have one comment. My understanding from Thursday night is that the culvert kind of changed and protects the stream, so I think it's appropriate, obviously. So I just want to say that for the record.
The difference, yes, sir. Any other comments? Thank you. Not seeing any. All of those in favor of approving item 22-17-23, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Thank you. 22-17-23 is adopted.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. That's all that we have under Community Economic Development. I'm sorry, under Planning and Development. Thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome, Mr. Chair. We'll move on to Parks and Recreation Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Chris Watts.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have no items tonight under Parks and Recreation.
Thank you so much, sir. Our Finance Committee Vice Chair is Councilmember Richard Siegel.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. No items tonight.
Thank you, sir. Information Technology Committee, that's chaired by Councilmember Richard Siegel as well.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We do have one item. That's item 25-1705 to authorize the mayor to sign a contract with a branding study firm. We met with several firms. We looked through their proposals, and I believe the consensus through our discussions is that Chandler Thinks LLC was the favored firm. So I'll make a motion, item 25-1705, to authorize the mayor to sign a contract with Chandler Thinks LLC for a branding study.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. It's been moved. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you so much. Item 25-17-05 has been properly moved and second to have me sign an agreement with Chandler for our branding study, to have a contract signed with a branding study. Are there any additional questions or comments from council members? Thank you. All of those in favor of approving item 25-17-05 with Chandler Branding Study Company, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, say nay. Thank you. Item 25-17-05 is adopted.
No other business, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We'll move on to Maintenance and Sanitation Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Mike Miller.
No business tonight, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Agenda item 14, Transportation Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember LaShawn Berdanley.
Yes, one item. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Welcome.
Item 27-17-14, authorize the mayor to sign a contract with Braun Cleveland Associates Incorporated for project management and inspection services for the FY15 TE corridor lighting and banners Phase 2 project TEE-0009-00335, PI number 0009035. I make a motion that we approve item 27-17-14.
Thank you. We have a motion. Is there a second? Thank you. It's been properly moved and second to approve item 27-17-14. Are there any additional questions or comments as it relates to this item from council members? Thank you. Not seeing any. All of those in favor of approving item 27-17-14, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you. 27-17-14 is adopted.
Madam Mayor, after council, I just ask that we go into executive session under a transportation item. Other than that, there are no other items under transportation. Thank you.
You're welcome. You have a note of that executive session. We'll move on to Personnel and Organization Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Richard Siegel.
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
welcome.
Before I read my item, the executive session will be for what purpose?
I think she means threatened litigation.
Thank
It
you.
does relate to transportation, however.
Just want to make sure we got that before
Yeah.
we moved on.
Relates to both.
I saw the look on your face. All right, I have one item, 28-17-11, create the adjunct appointment title of Deputy Zoning Official and consider the mayor's nomination for that office. So I will yield back to Madam Mayor to make that nomination.
Okay, my nomination will be Mr. Devin Hooper. He is one of our professionals. He's the city planner. He's been with us since March 2015 to the present time. He authorizes editing, proofing existing proposals, policies, and zoning ordinance to improve the city's commitment to sustainability while also modernizing statutes and reflects current political references. He enforces and implements policies, programs, initiatives at city's level certification at the Atlanta Regional Commission. We moved in the green communities from bronze to silver level under him with certification that was conducted by expanding recertification proposals and generating new deliverables. He is with the Georgia Air Force National Guard, and he has done work with the Carter for Governor campaign, and he's just an excellent young man. We'll just have him in this position until we are able to decide in the interim of what we're going to do. So Mr. Devin Hooper is my nomination for that position, for the Deputy Zoning Official.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. In that case, I will make the following motion, item 28-17-11, to create the adjunct appointment title of Deputy Zoning Official and ratify the mayor's appointment of Devin Hooper for that office. That is my motion.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Item 28-17-11, to create the adjunct appointment title of Deputy Zoning Official to Mr. Devin Hooper. Are there any additional questions or comments from council members? Thank you. All of those in favor of approving item 28-17-11 with Mr. Hooper as the Deputy Zoning Official, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you. Item 28-17-11 is adopted.
No other items, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We'll move on to Ordinance and Intergovernmental Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Michael Miller.
No business tonight, Madam Mayor.
Thank you so much, sir. Education and Training Committee. That's chaired by Councilmember Samuel Davis.
No items at this time, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Is there any other business to come before council tonight from council members? Well, thank you. As I had mentioned, that we would keep in our thoughts and prayers some things that are going on with council members and appointed officials, and also our city clerk, Ms. Vicki Acker, if we would keep her in our prayers as well. We'll move on to the city attorney, Mr. Joel Dotson.
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, sir. Chief Assistant City Attorney, Ms. Susan Littlefield.
No business, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, ma'am. Chief of Police, Chief Gary Sparks, looking sharp over there.
No business, Madam Mayor.
How did your town hall go?
Nice crowd, and passed on some information, vital information to the citizens on what we were doing at the police department. We had 3 council members there, well, 4.
Oh, great.
We're going to be having some more, so we'll keep you informed.
Thank you so much, Chief. We'll move on to City Manager, Ms. Marsha Hampton.
Just 2 quick things to make note of. Tonight was supposed to be our first Food Truck Monday, but due to the weather, we did postpone that event, so we look forward to those participating in that and the subsequent Mondays to follow. And then also, Councilman Davis has an event that he's involved with. Wednesday Wind Down kicks off this Wednesday at 7 p.m. at Hunter Park. So we look to see everyone there. That is the first event of the season. And for those who participate and those who would like to participate, that kicks off every Wednesday at 7 p.m. at Hunter Park through the duration of the summer. So look forward to seeing everybody. That's all I have.
Thank you so much, Ms. City Manager. Councilman Davis, would you like to say anything? Do we have a rain date or for those Wednesday wind down?
Rain or shine,
Wait, rain or shine?
ma'am.
Oh, my
Rain
goodness.
date would just be following Wednesday.
Okay, it'll be the following Wednesday. Well, that's good. I didn't cook tonight thinking I was going to go to the food truck Monday, so, but anyway. Okay.
Also, Madam Mayor, our host for this Wednesday is none other than Child 2, Tom Jones.
Oh, very good, very good. So it'll be at Hunter Park instead of downtown in the plaza because we're having renovations, but the accommodations will be really, will be well in Hunter Park. Okay, thank you so much, Ms. City Manager. There's comments from citizens and delegates. We'll go to that portion of the agenda. If there's anyone left that would like to say something, we'd love to have you come to the podium. Yes, sir, please come forward and give your name and address for the record. And I don't know if you have the form. Did you get the form? There aren't any out there? The green folks. So if you don't mind, if you would fill the form out for us just for the record, and hand it to the Deputy City Clerk, Ms. Sharon, we'll be happy to hear from you. Welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
My name is Jim Kay. I've been in Douglas County since 1970. I have two businesses, one on Cross I-20 at 3340 Highway 5, and one 8991 Highway 5 adjacent to the new park, new project that you're going to do on Bright Star.
Yes, sir.
Now, am I correct in saying this zoning thing has already been approved on both projects, 1 and 2, or on this one on Bright Star Connector project? Mark, did you mention a while ago that
the one tonight?
When Ray was up here, that both of them have been approved, the zoning for the SR something?
The 39.49
Yes,
acres.
ma'am.
You're Dr. K with the veterinarians.
Yes.
Oh, nice to see you.
Good to see you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for your nice letter.
Yes, sir. Mr. Chairman, would you like to address?
We've had one rezoning, Dr. K, that was in one development plan that was turned in, that was approved on the property to the north of Woods Road. There has not been another zoning come before us or another development plan turned in. What was discussed tonight, it's my understanding, was a split of the tracts of property. Is that it? Madam Mayor, could I look at that? Split of the remaining property into 3 parcels.
Okay.
And if you look at the plat, part of those are on the intersections of Bright Star Connector and Bright Star Road.
I've got it. This in here.
I can't read that from here, but I have a large
That's
plat
phase
of it.
1 and phase 2. Okay.
Tracts.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, what he's holding is the map that's in the DRI, so that was the original one that we've already approved, had
Yes.
2 phases in it, and that's what he has. What we talked about today is additional land that they're looking at acquiring, which that has not had any rezoning yet.
That is correct.
But
That's
will
the one
go
that Ray
before
was
the
talking
zoning
about
board.
apartments, right? The 39 acres that
Yeah,
you were discussing?
39 acres is in
they're
the-
dividing
is
it
in
into
the-
3 parcels.
Well,
so-
thank you for letting me talk. I just want to talk about a couple of things. My main concern is traffic. I have a place that's right beside there, a veterinary hospital, and I can see it daily as far as traffic. But my main concern is you have, if you don't believe me, go to Facebook and type in traffic in Douglasville, Georgia. You will get 9,285 people that will call you some bad names about the traffic, and I see it daily. And my concern is, my brother lived in Clayton County for 20 years, and they made some bad decisions over there as far as zoning. If you don't believe me, go to Riverdale, go over to Clayton County, and I promise you, those city council and councilmen you ask them, would they change some of their minds on some of their traffic stuff? They would say, yeah. And that's my only question to you is, my whole concern is traffic. I looked to see if there was a traffic study, and according to this thing on the additional DRI, it said there was one. They typed yes, but I did not find one. And I did find one in the original thing here that says that they can't do one because Woods Road and Bright Star are not regional networks. They could not do a traffic impact study. So my question to you guys is, you're talking about, according to your records here, 2,500 total daily trips, 2,000 cars and 502 trucks a day that's going to come off of Woods Road to Bright Star Road. They're going to take a right, go to Highway 5, or take a left and go to Highway 5. And now Ray's talking about another project up there that's 30 or 40 acres right on the corridor that's going to put all those people, Highway 5, down to the corridor and get on I-20. Sometime or another, we got to think about something. The other thing, real quickly, is the rock quarry. Y'all voted that down, but guess what? About 50% of those court decisions are reversed. And if that is reversed, now we're talking about another 200 or 300 trucks a day. That's all going to be in one area, and I don't know how much traffic we guys can handle there. This is a problem that's not going to affect a lot of us because it's probably going to be 4 or 5 years before it's going to come into effect. It won't affect me. I'll probably be in a nursing home with somebody changing my diapers, but it's going to affect a lot of you guys and a lot of your parents and your kids and grandkids. That's what you got to think about. It's like it's like our dead in Washington. So please, in the future, give this some thought. Don't just rubber stamp this thing. Think of your kids and grandkids, because you might want to go to a park one day at Hunter Park, and you can't tell your kid, I can't go. The traffic's too bad. That's all I want to say is just, y'all guys don't rubber stamp everything, and you're not rubber stamping everything, but please give traffic a problem to think about when you make all these things you're fixing to do that's going to make 500 trucks a day. Wow, that's going to be a lot. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. K. Now, I don't know if you were hearing part of the conversation with Attorney Fowler when he was talking to us about the phases that they're going to do in that area, and there's one that's already been implemented with the flashing light at Rose Avenue, Bright Star, and Highway 5. So,
not counting the two that Mark was talking about, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So the county has a study, the traffic study.
Have there been any plans on getting an on and off route at Bright Star, because that would solve all the problems?
I'm not certain.
Anybody know, Mark?
Plans for.
I'm sorry, I was trying to listen to.
Plans on getting an on and off ramp at Bright Star? I know it's probably above our pay grade, the guys.
Ms. Michelle Wright has talked with Georgia DOT, and I'm sure she can probably answer that. It is well above my pay grade, Dr. K, but possibly Ms. Wright can help us with that.
We did do a study in that area, and we are looking at combining the interchanges of Bright Star and State Route 5 and doing improvements. We have planned improvements out there from the study. We have short-term and long-term improvements proposed. Additionally, the program that he is speaking of and that Joe Fowler spoke of is called our RTOP program, and it's on State Route 5, and it's a joint project with the city and the county to improve the intersections out there and to do timing on the lights and to put in the flashing yellow arrows. We've been working on that program for approximately 2 years.
Thank you, Ms. Wright.
I was talking about on and off ramp at I-20.
And Bright Star.
And that is what we had studied in our I-20 at Bright Star Road State Route 5 study. We talked about the Federal Highway Administration doesn't allow ramps to be closer than 1 mile. So what we're able to do there is to bring the traffic off the interstate onto Bright Star and bring them down a road to combine the interchanges, the Bright Star Road interchange with the State Route 5 interchange. So you can bring the traffic off and get it off from the State Route 5 at I-20 interchange where there is congestion, and then you could also let cars come on at State Route 5 and go do a road down to I-20. So it would be like a joint interchange to relieve traffic in that area, and that is the proposed plan at this time.
That would tie the two interchanges together because they cannot have independent on and off ramps themselves because they're closer than 1 mile.
That's correct.
That's what I thought. Thank you. Does that help, Dr. K?
Ms. Wright, I'm sorry, I apologize, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Wright, is there anything that we can give Dr. K, any documentation or proposed plan or something that he could read? Or
Yeah,
have something
I do
from
have
the
the
county?
plan, and I can make him a copy of it if he'd like to come in the office. If you'd
Or
like
the R-top? Would you
And,
mind doing that, Dr.
pick
K,
it
so you
up.
can have something in your hands? Okay. Thank you so much, Ms. Wright. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Okay, are there any other comments from citizens and delegates? Thank you. Not seeing any. Do we have any staff reports? Okay, then I open the floor for the executive session.
I'll make a motion to adjourn into executive session for potential litigation discussion.
Thank you. Thank you. It's been properly moved in second to go into executive session, to adjourn into executive session to discuss potential litigation. Are there any questions or comments from council members? All those in favor of going into executive session, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you. We're adjourned into executive session.